Hi guys, I'm Casey with Savagecityblog and I'm here with Restorations.
Hello.
Why don't you guys introduce yourself, tell me where you guys are from and how long you guys have been playing.
Sure. I'm John with Restorations. We've been playing as a band for probably 6 or 7 years now, depending on when you want to count it.
Yeah.
I'm Ben, we're from Philadelphia. So
From Philly?
nice
Alright,
and easy.
cool.
The time that it deserves.
Who even inspired you guys to start playing music?
For us, I don't know. I always listened to music when I was a kid. My parents were always into it, you know. So I kind of grew up around all sorts of things. And my mom had a piano in the living room, you know. So I got lucky that way. It was like it was just sort of like, here's records, here's a piano, here's a guitar. Like I had these things always available to me.
Huge record player, collection, all that stuff.
Yeah.
We threw the Billy Joel record on today, and everybody knew all the words. And
Been listening to The Stranger since I was a little kid, and it kind of that sort of just has continued. So
yeah, that's awesome.
It always seemed out of reach, and somehow I'm doing it. It's crazy.
As far as your sound goes, like, how did you know, like, all right, this is it. I like the way this sounds. We'll stay with this for a song. You know, when you're like fiddling around with stuff.
It's tough to say. I think we kind of, with this band, at least got comfortable exploiting what we're each individually good at and not necessarily trying to bend that towards something. You know, it's like our drummer plays really loudly and, you know, kind of, so we just sort of like harness that, you know, like Dave loves playing like really fancy leads, so we sort of harness that. Like, my vocals aren't going to get any cleaner, so it's just, you know, you got to kind of start to build with your assets, I guess.
Use what you got.
It's less like, oh man, I wish we were like this other band that we really love. It was more just like,
embrace yourself.
Yeah. You can like all these things, you can have all that be an influence, but you don't need to have it be so literally direct.
I'll say the same time. Separate songs.
So how do you guys come up with like lyrics and stuff like that?
That's all him. Well, yeah, it's mostly me. That's an older song, so that was partially Dave. Dave used to write a little bit more of the lyrics, but now it's all me. But most of it's just sort of stockpiling things over the years, old notebooks and like little like notepad things in my phone, you know, sort of like
stuff.
So like you take stuff that either like didn't work on old songs or sort of ideas that you had or like something that sort of it's like a riff off other things that you've heard or conversations you've had or stuff like that. Like notions sort of stick around. So you'll usually have like something that like pops in your head. You're like, oh, it's a good idea, and you have something that was like from 10 years ago that you never used. You kind of just start compiling all this stuff together, and you'll working like I guess that broadly. You have a lot of things that sort of start to come together thematically, and you can just sort of build a song without it being so like, and then this happened, and then this happened, and this happened. It's more like you can be super obtuse about it, and it still sort of works in a. You can kind of get the idea across between that and the music.
You're 0.014 miles per hour and Adventure Tortoise.
Yeah.
They're about the same story.
It's true.
I hear?
Yeah. Yep.
How are they connected?
There's a 100-year-old tortoise in Carolinas that had broken out of the zoo and was missing for 3 days. And they finally found it, but it was like only 1.5 miles from the zoo. So they figured out over the 3 days they had walked 0.014 miles per hour. They're like, it's an adventure tortoise. He just wanted to go see the world, so he got out.
Vacation.
You just need to get out of there for a little bit.
That's awesome. Where do you guys feel like LP3, like what direction has it gone from LP2? What are you bringing to the fans with this new album?
I think we're just playing a little more confidently and kind of letting everybody do their own thing a little bit more. It's less like everybody's playing all at the same time, and it's more just like, here's room for you to do your thing. Here's, you know, we'll carve out room for everyone. And it's a lot more fun that way, and it's a little more open. And I feel like the songs are a little bit stronger because of it. It's less of like a bunch of people all talking at the same time and more of a continual narrative.
All right, I wouldn't have known that. I'm glad I wouldn't have known that. That's awesome. How do you guys get connected with call and response?
So that was our friend Kira, who we've known for a really, really long time. She works for Punk News. She's been doing this project in DC for a little while now, where she'll have like writers and artists and stuff get paired together. And, this year, well, it was actually I guess last year, maybe the year before, that she had approached us saying, hey, I kind of want to do something like this, but with a band. Would you be interested in doing this? And our schedules are always so crazy. You know, it's tough for us to organize because we're all jobs
doing
and stuff.
Your own
things. Touring is kind of intense. So it actually worked out this year. She was like, would you guys be interested in doing this? We're like, yeah, I'd actually love to do this year. So we wrote a 12-minute song, and that was given to a bunch of writers, and they were all from the DC area. And then they gave all those writings to artists, like visual artists, and got everything from like sculptures to video pieces to board games, paintings, like the whole nine. And they compiled everything into a little book with a 7-inch and gave that at the show. So the writers were all there, the artists were all there. We played this song at the opening, and it was just like this big crazy thing. It was awesome. One of the most unique things we've ever been a part of. It was really fun.
That's cool. That's cool. You guys played Pre-Fest last year.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was crazy. That was one of the best shows we had last year. What was the place called?
It was, I think it was the Ritz, wasn't it?
Ritz, that's the one. Yeah. We played the bar, like the little spot there. It was just warm. Just everyone was really
Everybody was welcoming and everything.
Yeah. Our shows aren't crazy, but every now and again our shows can get like kind of like everyone's just stoked to be there, and it was one of those.
I heard something about Mosh Pyramid or something like that.
Oh, that was in Paris.
That happened in Paris.
That was strange. Great. I thought something had happened.
We all turned around, we're like facing the drummer, and we turned back to face everybody, and it's just a pyramid of people. Like, what's going on? I don't know. Why do you do this? Kind of it's a thing.
Yeah, so they make a pyramid out of people like cheerleading or something, and then somebody dives off the top into the crowd. I'd never seen anything like it before, so I like turned around and saw like everybody on the floor, and I thought something had happened, and I was
maybe
like, oh no.
A pyramid started tonight.
Yeah, maybe we'll bring it to the States. Smith Street brought shoeys. Maybe we'll bring the French pyramids.
Yeah. Restoration's bringing the French pyramid to like America. After Fest, you guys are going to where?
Actually, we're going up with Smith Street Band. Conveniently. Yeah.
That's
like,
awesome.
Have you
guys toured with them before?
Yeah. A bunch. Yeah.
We're slowly doing a world tour with them.
Yeah. It's a very long world tour. Short burst. They took us to Australia almost 3 years ago now. It was our first international tour. We'd never really been anywhere.
Anybody you guys like really hyped to see at Fest or Pre-Fest?
Self-Defense Family in a couple of minutes actually. Signals Midwest. Pat just walked by actually. I want to see the Melvins. I want to see Thou. I want to see who else is playing. God, there's a list. Yeah, that's a good short list, I guess. It's gonna be cool this year, man. There's a lot happening.
As you guys said, you listen to a lot of music. What songs or song would you say you had on repeat since you started this tour, like, or artist maybe you've had on repeat, like, dude, I listen to this song so much.
We listen to a lot of Spiritualized in the van. We listen to a lot of, I don't know.
Lorde keeps popping up.
Yeah, we've been listening to Lorde a lot. We like to listen to D'Angelo after the show's over.
Oh,
D'Angelo. We'll put Voodoo on the way out. It's great. Yeah. It's really good. I recommend it later today.
No, I'll check it out. Well, thank you for doing this interview.
Thank you.
I hope the show goes well, and I hope the album continues to sell.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
It's gonna be fun today. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you so much. All right, Savagecityblog, Restorations. Peace out, guys.